Our story begins in the quaint little city of Kaysville, Utah, on a large plot of land hidden away from the public. This scenic, forested area seems unassuming and peaceful, but tucked away at the base of this picturesque hollow lies the epicenter of decades worth of urban legends about a sinister past and paranormal activity. A pile of rubble is all that remains of a stone cross known as Kay's Cross. Where did it come from? Who built it and why? Let's dig in and find out. Before we get started, we'd like to give a huge shout out to the Dead History. The majority of the information and images used in this video came from their well-researched article on Kay's Cross. We'll be partnering with them more in the near future, but in the meantime, go check out their website for more interesting haunted history articles, a podcast, and EVPs they've captured. Kay's Cross has been an enigma in northern Utah for well over 50 years, and there are countless stories of how it came to be. The most prevalent legend is that a polygamist who owned the land killed 7 of his wives and buried 6 of them around the cross. He then buried the other wife standing upright within the base of the cross and then hung himself from the cross as penance for his crimes. Then, amidst the satanic panic of the 1980s and 90s, more rumors sprung up that Satanists used the cross as an altar for their satanic rituals and sacrifices.
Today it's my privilege to host this program on a little-known area in law enforcement. It's the area of satanic cults.
So was it Satanists, or was it polygamists? Who built this stone cross in the woods of Kaysville, Utah? And does it have a sinister past that still haunts the area to this day? The real story is almost as weird as the urban legends. The parcel of land that the cross is on is owned by the Kingstons, a well-known polygamous family. According to Merlin Kingston, the cross was built in honor of a man named Krishna Venta, and the large K at the top of the cross stood for kingdom, a prominent word in Venta's speeches. So, who was Krishna Venta and why was a cross built for him? Krishna Venta, born Francis Penkovich, was a religious cult leader who gained popularity in the 40s and 50s, and he became acquainted with Merlin Kingston's brother while serving in the army. But after a short stint in the military, Penkovich was now going by Krishna Venta and was making money as a traveling lecture hall minister. The Kingstons invited Venta to hold outdoor lectures on their property in Kays Hollow in 1946. It was during this time that the cross was built by Venta and the Kingstons. This is where things get even weirder. Venta became fascinated with Mormonism, and by 1947 he had legally changed his name to Krishna Venta and left Utah for California. It was there that he gained notoriety and a following of about 100 or so people. They lived on about 25 acres in California where they built a monastery in 1948. Venta's grand cult plans came to an end on December 10, 1958, when 2 ex-members confronted him to coerce a confession of crimes he had committed. When that failed, they proceeded to blow themselves and Venta up by detonating a bag of dynamite. Despite Venta's death, his cult survived, and by 1968, Charles Manson, along with a few of his followers, would stay at the monastery with the cult off and on for a few months. Ultimately, Manson scared the group so much that they were forced to leave. However, Venta seemed to leave an impression on Manson as he adopted many of Venta's prophecies and altered them into his own twisted and much more violent views. So, what ultimately happened to the cross? The urban legends began to grow, and it became a popular local legend for teenagers. Many would sneak down there to get a thrill, and the stories continued to grow until the cross was blown up in February of 1992. It's believed it was destroyed by the Kingstons as they were sick of the trespassers on their property. To this day, the area is believed to be haunted, but does that stem from the urban legends of satanic rituals, or did they really take place on this land? Or is it the spirits of Venta's followers from his talks he gave on the land many years ago? We're not sure, but that's why we chose to investigate it to find out for ourselves. Prior to our investigation, we spoke with Vincent Lords about his experience at the cross.
One of my most memorable experiences here at the cross was there's a legend that on a full moon, if you touch the cross, that it will actually burn you. So with that concept in mind, I came down without my team and came down to the cross, and rather than touch it, I had this brilliant idea to disrobe and actually lay on it without my shirt. Didn't think anything of it. When I got back up to home base, I realized that I had not 3 scratches, but 3 burn marks on my back, and they were in the form of an upside down cross, 3 upside down crosses. And now anytime I'm near that cross, I'm drawn to it, but I'm also very fearful and apprehensive to be around it at any given time.
So do you feel this was a demonic attack on you?
I personally do, and the fact that I laid on the cross, I mean, that was probably bad stigma on my part. This place is alluring, it's beautiful, but it will play on your fears, and it will leave a mark on you. This place will leave a mark on you. I'll leave this for you guys to kind of ponder as you leave tomorrow after you've spent the night. There's a sadness that follows this place. There's an oppression, a depression, definitely followed me. I don't think it was like demonic, but it definitely took a while to get out of that funk where I felt like me again. And same thing happened to Bennett when she had her experience. It took her quite a while. She had to go and really regroup, and she took a little time off from the team to kind of reground and recenter herself. And so be careful as you're out here, because this is no joke whatsoever. This is real.
We also spoke with Bennett, who Vincent just mentioned, about her experience at the cross.
Basically what happened down here in Case Cross was came down with the team. We were all down here gathered around the cross. I felt drawn to go back this way, back down by a gate, which at the time I didn't even know there was a gate down there. I just felt really drawn down in there. So I get down there, and all of a sudden I start getting really, really emotional and sick. And I feel like something is trying to take over. And then the next thing you know is I am down on my knees. It feels like something jumped inside. It really did feel like that. It felt like a female dragged me down to my knees. It felt like she was trying to offer me to a male who I know hangs out on this hill behind me. He's always here. I feel him all the time ever since this incident. But so she draws me down on my knees, and I feel like I'm trying to be offered. He's a very dominant, oppressive spirit that's here. And I start just throwing up, and my team at this time comes and finds me because I had wandered away by myself. They found me, they carried me up out, and the entire way they were carrying me up to the parking lot. It felt like he was following me, he was chasing me, he was wanting me, he wanted me to stay, was not happy with everybody else. Hands down the worst experience I've had being an investigator, and I was laughing and joking and having this great time before this, and then just full on switch of just crying and puking, and it's crazy here.
Are the legends true, or have the stories been built up over time to make for a better urban legend? We'll find out soon enough. Our investigation of this location premieres next week.